Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leading the Moment with Dr. Jeremy Pickard, new president at Southwest Wisconsin Technical College. Jeremy's first week this week. How's it going so far, Jeremy?
So far, so good. Yeah.
That's great.
Day one was yesterday, so today's day two, and we're off and running.
You came back, huh?
We came back. Yeah, it was good.
That's great. We're joined by a special guest today, Caleb White. Caleb's been serving as interim president for the last year, and I guess we'll just start, Caleb. What we usually do is some quick questions, some rapid-fire questions, and I thought you would like this first one. Hunting or fishing?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know if I could do with either, without either, but probably hunting over fishing. It's tough, though. Fishing, you can do it year-round. Hunting is, the seasons, but I'd probably do hunting if I had to give one up.
Are you better at one or the other?
I don't know. Probably not.
No? What about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, I want to give one up. I think I would give up hunting. I would keep fishing. I just don't hunt as much as I do fish, and I think it's relaxing. I think for me, hunting, I like a little action. So to sit out in the timber all day long is not that relaxing for me unless you're, running into some things that you're after.
Sure. Yeah. The next one, what is one talent that you wish you had?
Boy, I wish I could. I'd probably either play an instrument really well or bilingual or multilingual.
Oh, yeah.
And I know both are within my control, but I've just never made it a priority. But I really respect those that are good at both. Absolutely.
Jeremy, what about you?
Yeah, I think something around auto mechanic, being able to fix some of that stuff. I just always have admired people who can just get into something, fix it very quickly, and understand that. So that would be one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we always talk about what program would you take here. So what about you, Jeremy? There's so many, like graphic and web design. That's kind of my thing. There's a lot of options. I don't know what it would be. What about you, Caleb?
I think I was talking to Jeremy this weekend. I was replacing some subfloor in our bathroom, so I'd probably take our carpentry program.
Yeah. I think it'd be in IT, maybe cybersecurity. I've just been very curious of that part of the world. And again, like you just said, we all can do that if we would put our minds to it and just go for it. But cybersecurity would be one I would be fascinated by and interested in.
That'd be a great one for sure. This one is interesting too. What's the first job you ever had?
I worked at meat processing plant Weber's in Cuba City all through high school, I think all through college as well. Started as a cleanup crew, and the big advantage of that was it was flexible. You could do it right after school, after practice, if you played sports. The dirty dishes, the dirty equipment was waiting for you whenever you got there.
Yeah, so I started with a paper route when I was younger, but the first job I really had was in a wood shop, and so I was tasked with sweeping the floors, and that was the never-ending job in a wood shop. They made clocks and bookends and urns and things of that nature in our town. It's a pretty sizable wood shop, and so we swept floors and hauled sawdust. That was my first job at 14.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I remember those days. So speaking of jobs, you're coming in, Jeremy. Obviously, Caleb, you're gonna stay here. But what has the last year been like for you, Caleb, serving as interim president? I guess, what did you expect it to be, and what did it turn out to be?
Yeah. So I've been at the college 22 years. So this is where I work. This is home. So it wasn't a big shift necessarily. But I think the biggest thing that surprised me when I've been on leadership for a while, so I've been a part of decision-making process, talking through, so kind of the same team dynamics, but when the buck stops with you, kind of that additional pressure of, I'm going to be the one that we all make decisions, we all are part of that, but really where, like I said, the buck stops with me, the weight of that, and just, how important we are to our region, and I don't want to mess anything up, was more than I expected.
Sure. And Jeremy, I guess for you coming in your first week, how are you going to utilize Caleb and what he learned and his knowledge here being 22 years and the last year as president?
Yeah, he may be worried about messing things up, but he didn't. He did a really nice job of keeping the ship steady, being that strong leader in a time when didn't have a president. And so he did in my opinion, all the right things, managed things very well. And so just getting to know him and utilizing the historical knowledge that he has just been very beneficial. And to have a finance guy who has that, also the leadership ability in that area, you don't find that everywhere you go. So he's really strong in what he does as CFO, business management side of the house, but then his leadership and having an understanding of what it's like to sit in the seat, it's invaluable. It's been really great to have him. I'll even say as a mentor and a coach and someone who's helping me out quite a bit.
Sure, absolutely. And Caleb, I guess, what did you learn over the last year? It's sure you're in leadership, but it's still that, the highest level. What type of things did you take away that maybe you can take back to your everyday role, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily new, but it was emphasized more that there's just there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer to any question. There's a spectrum of weighing all the pros and cons and everything, and just trying to pick the best decision or the best path that not only serves our employees but our students and then our district as a whole. Just because we're so vital to our district, our 5-county district, and what we do. That you, again, go back to my last answer, we don't want to mess anything up, and really what I mean by that is we want to be able to provide the best value we can to all of our constituents.
Absolutely. And recently we've had 2 employees, they worked here almost 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, you've been here 22 years, I've been here 8 years. What would you tell Jeremy about why people stay and they continue to come back to Southwest Tech to work here?
Yeah, I think like any organization, any business is all about relationships, and relationships all come down to people. So we just have a really good group of people here that care about our mission, care about what we do, care about student success. So I mean that's what I think. Those you mentioned, the 2 that have worked here 40 years or around 40 years. That's why they stay. This is family. This is home. They believe in what we do. Our leadership team right now, there's a dozen or 15 of us. I think we've all been here like 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason. It's a great place to work. We do great work, and it's fun to work with good people.
Absolutely. What do you think about that, Jeremy, when you see leadership that's been here, a couple of decades? What does that say to you?
Yeah, and so when I was going through the process of interviewing for the position, what most people don't know is I was interviewing Southwest Tech probably as much as they were interviewing me, just
Sure.
simply because I was in a spot that was very comfortable. I was very good at it, enjoyed the community I was in. I just finished my 25th year with that organization. And so those things that he just articulated were many of the reasons why you decided to accept the position as president. It's because of the stability of the leadership. It was because of the commitment of the folks working here. It was the passion that you could see every day. And it felt like, I've used this term a lot, it felt like home all the time, the smile on people's face when they came in. And when you showed up, our students experienced that on the regular as well. And so Southwest Tech has so many great things going for it. It was easy to kind of tease those out and find out what those attributes were, grab a hold of those and go, yeah, that's a place that I can see myself belonging, I want to belong to, and I want to contribute to at a really high level for the success of our students that then impacts the business and industries that we serve, the communities that we serve, and then obviously their families and their spouses and their kids and et cetera, right? Like it just keeps going for a long time. And that's the attractiveness of Southwest Tech.
Absolutely. And Caleb, with Jeremy in here now and his first couple of days, have you given him any advice? What would you tell him about the campus, the staff, the students, the community? Obviously, we're a big part of the community here. Have you given him any advice or?
Yeah, I guess I can't think of anything in particular other than, he's already doing it and just getting to know the people. That's how you're going to learn the college and the culture and what makes us great is getting to know the people.
Sure. And Jeremy, so far, how's it going? It's been only a couple of days now. You're probably a little bit overwhelmed, but overall, how's it going?
Yeah. So, I accepted the position about 4 months ago. And so we've spent a lot of time actually onboarding and getting ready to go for this day. So although it's day 2, 1.5, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't really feel like that. And I would probably think he feels the same way. It feels like we've been working together for a period of time already. And so we already have a nice cadence, good interactions and those types of things. There was a fire alarm that went off this morning, so I think some people were blaming me for the fire already, and I'm here to put fires out, not to start them, in case anybody's wondering. But no, it's been going very well, I think because of the amount of work they've done with the board, with cabinet, with the leadership team, with just a number of key players. You feel like you could hit the ground running. It's not like you're starting from nothing. Yeah, you have the original, HR paperwork that you still have to do and some of the onboarding and those things never change no matter what position you have. But as far as like getting ready to go and being in higher ed, it feels familiar, if that makes sense. It is a new system. Things are a bit different, but for the most part, the goal and the mission and what you're trying to accomplish is very similar for what I've been doing for the last 25 years as well, too.
Sure, absolutely. And Caleb, when you started last year as interim president, was there a learning curve, or since you were here so long, it was kind of second nature, and you knew everybody, you knew all the players and all that?
Yeah, it wasn't a real steep learning curve. Like I said, our leadership team has been pretty stable, as Jeremy said, for a number of years. So it was, when Jason left the college, we had one less person in that group, but everyone else was the same, and we were making those decisions, kind of move forward. And that was the intent when I took over, is that I didn't want to shake things up a lot, knowing that I was just kind of the placeholder. We had just won the Asper Prize. There wasn't a whole lot to fix or change, or why mess with that. So we were trying to get through until we had our next leader on board.
Sure. And Jeremy, looking ahead, I know we have some community events scheduled. You're going to be in Prairie du Chien, Platteville. What are you looking forward to when you're out in the community talking to folks?
Yeah, I think it's just that, is finding out the role that they see us playing in whatever it is, whatever their sphere is that they're doing. So if it's workforce, if it's economic development, if it's turning out and the next teacher, early childhood education, the next welder, whatever it is, I'd like to hear from them on just kind of how they see the college and the role that they're playing. And then if we're meeting the expectations that they have. So come out, say hi. We're doing it a lot around ice cream. And so come out and get a free scoop of ice cream. And then, just trying to engage and get to know and build those relationships. We're an integral part of what the community does, and everything that these communities do in this part of the state is based on partnerships. We're not doing it alone, and so that's what we're working on, is just to ensure that we have very, very strong partnerships. Strong partnerships means strong programming. Strong programming means a strong workforce, and the cycle keeps going. And so that's what we're attempting to accomplish. I'd love to meet you. And if it doesn't work out for one of the events that we have, feel free to pick up the phone. We can get lunch, get breakfast. We can swing by and meet as well. And we've already started to do a number of those things, but this is just a continuation of that.
Absolutely. And since you're here, Caleb, I don't know if you can let people know, I guess, when you're not interim president, what's your role on campus, and what's kind of your responsibilities here on campus?
Yeah, so my primary responsibility is Chief Financial Officer, so overseeing the financial affairs of the college. There's a few other areas too, but that's the primary area. So
since you're here, I can ask for a raise? Is that how it works? Or now Jeremy's in charge, we have to ask Jeremy?
That's right.
Great. We have some events coming up. I know you'll be out and about meeting some business leaders too. Jeremy, is that going to be part of your role too now, Caleb, kind of helping Jeremy network and meet the business leaders, community leaders, things like that as well?
Yeah, I think when it makes sense.
Sure.
When I have a relationship with who Jeremy's going out to meet. But there's a lot of us around the college that have different relationships. And bringing them in to make that transition easiest, I think, is what's planned.
Sure. And I guess, what do you think is more important, being an interim president or being the first guest on this podcast?
Definitely the first guest. Yeah. Definitely the first guest.
That's great. Anything to add, Jeremy? You're going to hit the ground running now, your first week. It's going to be a fast semester. What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, I'm ready. So I've always said in education, there's no finish line in the race, right? So you're talking about running and getting started. We run to run, and we can't wait to get going. We can't wait to meet. We can't wait to provide the educational opportunities for the students in our area and meet the demands of our community. So we're excited about that. We want to meet you, and so if you had an opportunity to do that in the coming weeks, I would encourage you to swing by. Also, too, if you're an alumni, swing out to college. A lot has changed probably since you graduated the last time we were here. Caleb's done a really nice job with the finances to allow us to do a wide number of programming and the facilities and things of that nature. So if you're interested in doing that, come on by. The foundation is also growing pretty rapidly. Just filled out my paperwork to contribute to the foundation as well. And so we know that every penny of that helps student support and helps student success. And so if you have an interest in giving back as well, those are some of the appointments that we have and some of the meetings we have coming up, as folks who are really interested in giving back to a place that made a lot of impact on their life at one point in time.
Absolutely. And those donations, they make a huge difference. Huge difference, absolutely.
Yep.
So, Caleb, now that your interim president tenure is over, are you relieved?
A little bit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy to have Jeremy on board. Like he said, we've been getting to know each other over the past 4 months. So I told our board chair, this is probably a month ago, but every time I talk with Jeremy, I feel a little more confident that and excited about the journey we're on. So it's going to be great.
It
So-
is going to be great.
So is this how it works? You come in your first week and then we get a week off for July 4th? Is that your doing or?
No, it was apparently it's been in place for a while. It's unique to me. It's not anything that I've been a part of. In fact, my original start date was July 1, and then I was only going to work a couple of days and then have like 10 days off, and so we actually changed it so I could be here a little bit longer. But yeah, it's just a nice thing that they do here at the college. Predates me, so I don't know the history of it exactly,
Sure.
but from what I find, people find it to be a really nice kind of summer break,
Absolutely.
similar to a spring break, if you would.
Yeah, and one of the many reasons why people stick around, right, Kayla?
That's correct.
So let's just wrap it up here and finish up. One more kind of fun question. You guys have any July 4th plans next week?
Some house projects. We're in the middle of moving, so some of that stuff, and I'll probably get out and do a little fishing too.
Sure. Hopefully it's not 120 degrees, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Jeremy?
Same, as much time as you can spend with family. So 250th year celebration of the United States of America, what an opportunity. I think there's going to be a lot going on nationally to be able to watch. And then I also have a close friend who likes to shoot off as many fireworks as possible in his backyard. And typically we go make sure that he doesn't blow any fingers off when he does it.
Yeah, make sure you come back to campus with all your fingers,
That's
Jeremy.
right. That's right.
All right. Well, I really appreciate it. Thanks, Caleb, for your time. I know you're busy too, so we really, really appreciate it. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jeremy.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. And as we go along here, we'll try to post episodes every couple of weeks, and we have a good lineup of guests coming up this semester, so stay tuned.